Hello, all, and welcome to. Well, I don't really have a good name for this series yet, but I guess we'll call this a little Nightreign review. Seeing as how I have been playing this game far too much, been putting far too many hours in it, currently at 122 hours at the time of this recording, got all the achievements, um, did all the remembrance for the most part, other than a few remaining. I gotta beat the game one time so I can see his ending, and Wilder I gotta beat the game one time to get his ending as well. But other than that, kind of did everything there is to do in this game. I figure a good waste of my time, since I'm gonna keep playing this game over and over and over, is to do a little review to see why runs go bad, why runs go well, whether I'll succeed, whether I win. Good little learning experience. Always happy to have people chime in, give helpful advice, maybe say something I miss or a concept I'm getting wrong. I'll give advice that I found as well. But other than that, since this game's already kicking off, I'll also just use this as a way to explain my thought process and see if I can't learn, get better from watching it, and maybe give some tricks to some people who are on the fence or trying to figure this game out. So, first off, I always like going for those little, whenever it dumped me next to one of those little outposts, love killing enemies so I can get one free level, get to level 2. Here I stupidly forgot to get a level up before running to fight this guardian golem. But the big thing that I miss on this first playthrough, I forgot to switch two-handed while I'm playing as Raider. I should have switched to two-handed, did a lot more damage here. Also what gave me the ability to block. But I do like playing the Raider sometimes just because it does so much bloody damage. Also, I need to learn to roll mode. That Guardian's doing some decent damage to me. I'm already 2 flasks down. Ah. Got him down. And, oh, okay, that was weird. Ah, these little Nightreign moments. Okay, well, let's see. Can I get the critical? Oh, floated in the air. Oh my god, I love these little critical moments of jank. Ah, and nothing that would be of value. I don't know why I got the improved magical attack. I think side probably would have been a better alternative for me. And then I get another flail. Ah, okay. Going to unlock the Evergel. Oh, I'm wondering what boss is in that Evergel. Can't remember. I honestly can't remember what boss it was. And I can see I didn't get a level 3, so I'm still a level down. Which I think probably my teammates are also level 2, so it's probably not best for us to be fighting an Evergel. But an Omen's probably the best thing we can get for a Evergel boss. And that brings me to the next thing. Raider's ability of the punch. I like it. But there's little things that I just do not like about it, and that is, one, you can't, or if you can, I haven't found a way, you can't seemingly cancel out of it. Once you start, you can't, like, say, do a dodge roll or something, cancel out of it. And there's been so many times where I've used the ability, I wanted to cancel it because the enemy got way out of range, and I just had to use the attack, and just drive me crazy. But Omen went down easily enough. And now, okay, we'll try. Like, we're gonna be heading to the church again. There's a flask. I've been finding more and more players don't really like to go for the flask. They want to go for everything but the churches. And I don't know whether that is more players reaching a phase of they think they're good enough to not need flask, or they think getting to level 15 and possibly a good weapon is better than having more heals. Nothing really that great. I've never found the silver, I think it's what, silver chicken foot or whatever, useful for item drops. I've never used it in combination with Iron Eye, but it seemed like the only good items that ever drop. Well, it doesn't even seem like good item drop. It seems mostly like I'm just getting a bunch of common items. But good thing to see, clearing out this mine. If for any other reason, those level 2 smithing stones, are they Sunburn smithing stone? Always a good thing to get, especially if you're doing any type of a melee character or have any melee weapon. Heck, even if you just got a regular wand or staff or talisman, it's good to level that thing up, do more damage. Smithing stone too, that's where it is. Oh, and we're gonna take out another Evergel. I'm wondering if these guys who and I don't think I checked my allies thing, but I was wondering if one of them maybe had one of the effects of start with rune key, or yeah, rune key, and for every Evergel you clear, you get I think an attack boost. I've seen a couple of those relics like that. Never have liked it myself, just because it's become too dependent on if you can do a bunch of these Evergels, and if you can't, it kind of make it a little bit useless half the time. Ancient Dragon. And me still stuck with my initial weapon. This is another thing I really hate, is the totem get in the way. A whole lot, actually. Then the other thing I wondered, I don't believe this is the case, if the totem could block a breath attack. It would be nice if it could. I don't believe it can. I think that got a good hit. Good punch. I got that dragon's full attention. That was a bad heal previously. So this is one thing I've always had trouble with some of the characters. Gauging right distance from them when doing these types of attacks. And a legendary drop, and then I get nothing good. 3,000 runes are not good. I would prefer a weapon. I would prefer the ability to res one time if my whole team get down. 3,000. FromSoft change it and make it so 3,000 runes are not seen as a rare, as a legendary like drop. Yellow is usually legendary drops, and it's so worthless to have 3,000 runes. Oh, not 3,000. I think it's 30,000 or whatever. But it's not. Yeah, I get a couple. I may get a couple levels early on, but I would prefer a weapon. I would prefer a legendary weapon drop. I would prefer the I would prefer hardly anything. Namely, I would prefer at least the ability to resurrect myself if my whole team get down. That would have made this really good. and the freaking wall blocked me. Oh, my goodness. And finally, the first practical weapon I can use. A butchering knife. I seriously considered about the guarding thing, but I didn't have a shield, so I figured, oh, I'm not going to be blocking anything. And of course, this is the fortress that have the crucible knights all over the place. Jeez, and that wall again got me. Well, let's see if it gives us a good talisman. And green turtle, no debate there, green turtle. All day. I can't think of a better thing than using the green turtle to get more stamina so I can hit the enemy more with the raider. Oh, jeez. So one thing I do kind of wish with the Raider, he had more. I wish he had even more poise. He got a lot of poise. I wish he had even more poise than what he currently has, by default. Yeah, I'll take the affinity all day, and the shield. I think it gives a bonus to blocking. But I must say, we're making good progress. If for any other reason, being level 8 by the end of the first night is a good position to be in. And there comes the night. So one rule I always stick to, I never try to fight enemies or finish a boss when the night's coming in, unless, no, I only break that exception on few occasions, and that's only if everyone on my team is like, has been on top of everything. Most of the time, I will just leave and go to the tree, because I've seen too many runs get ruined because people get greedy and they want to stick it out to kill the boss, thinking it's going to drop something great, and then it probably dropped garbage or something that's entirely not worth you sticking around fighting this boss, losing your health while in the rain, and then having to waste almost all of your flasks in a mad dash to get back to get to the boss arena. Charge attack. Attacks that I rarely do. Well, I was swinging that there. Okay. Those finger crawlers, easy to kill. Oh, Centipede Demon. Dark Souls 1. Oh, good punch. I actually got it through there. But this is what I talk about. It's being in the way. I can't even get him. there's really not much to say about Centipede Demon. He was a weakling in Dark Souls 1. He's a weakling here, especially with 3 players on him. If I recall, his only real thing that made him a tough fight in Dark Souls 1, and I use tough in quotation, is the area where you fought him. It was a giant lava pit, so you had like a tiny little platform that wasn't lava, and he would run into the lava half the time. But here, Elden Ring, you have a good little circle to fight him in. His attack stays the same, where he just stomps around and at most drops a centipede demon to fight you. Oh, I went with the guard counter. Looking back on it, I should probably went with the more invincibility frames, doing more invincibility when rolling. And the main reason for that, well, we'll see once we get further in, but yeah, I should have went with probably the rolls with more invincibility for rolling. And what are we doing here? Oh, taking out. Why did I? Oh, I did level up. Yeah, I don't know why I'm forgetting to level up. We're doing. Ooh. Oh, 1, 2, and just got me 2 hit. So one thing I will give to most players, if the enemy can one-shot, if a boss one-shot you, find another boss to fight. And I speak primarily not saying you're playing as Revenant or Iron Eye or Recluse, who got like the lowest HPs. I'm speaking more in towards like Raider or Wilder. Executioner and Duchess kind of got mid-tier HP ranger, but Wilder, Raider, Guardians got the biggest XP. If you get down, it is not worth it for you guys to try to kill that boss right now. Come back and fight it. I didn't realize when I took those 2 heals that I was currently under the immortality from her ultimate. I was afraid that it was going to look, and then I think when I chugged my second heal, I was like, if it runs out, I don't want to be one-shotted, because then I'm gonna be at 3 recovery. And did it drop anything good? No! It dropped absolutely nothing worthwhile for my build. For a Raider run. I finally remembered to upgrade. Glad. And the only thing I could take was armaments called Bleed at low HP, which is decent. As hard of a time as I was having to climb that mountain, I can only remember how bad it used to be when the game first dropped. It was so horrible. There was so many times I would get frustrated because I couldn't climb up anything. Food for words to the wise. When you're in a red main camp, there's two red main knights you gotta take out. The one on the far end by the catapult, and the other one's in the top of the tower. I forgot about that and was like, oh yeah, this is the one where he's in the top of the tower. Most people would recommend going after that one first, the one in top of the tower, because he's gonna be shooting. He has a bow and got, I think, the red main, what do you call it? Arrow shower, where he shoot an arrow and it rained down a bunch of arrows on top of your head. Oh, and we got seriously lucky. of all the enemies, bosses, roaming bosses, a demi-human queen. Jeez. Just outrageous. Jeez, and Revenant with the freaking Star of Azura. Or is that Comet of Azura? Oh, here I was super happy. I finally got a good heavy weapon. The Bow Axe that caused Scarlet Rot. Easily going to be using that the rest of this match. That's always an easy keep in my inventory. Whenever I get a weapon that prop Scarlet Rot, I always keep that thing. Poison's good, but it doesn't drain health as quickly as Scarlet Rot does. But here I do something stupid. I want to see what's in there. And I trigger that. Oh jeez, I get sent to the moon. Open it up. I see a shield and one item on the ground. I never do figure out if that's a talisman. I don't want to waste any more time. But a little buckler shield. I don't know. Maybe my teammates could have used it, but it seemed... I don't know. Those things never seem worthwhile. It take like an ult from like Raider or Wilder to break it open. I don't know, is there any other way to break it open other than having one of those characters to do an ult? And then if you're playing as the Duchess, how are you supposed to open those? Like if you're playing as the Duchess or the Recluse or Revenant. Revenant maybe can open it if you get the Ghost Flame on her ult. And I do like those Sorcerer Towers. Free item if you solve the puzzle. Puzzle's easy enough. You just gotta destroy the blue seal. Honestly, the only time I ever see those... The only time I dislike those towers is when the seal is within the tree stump on the outside that runs away from you, actively runs away. Because if you don't see which direction it ran... Granted, I think it only will get like a couple of steps away from the tower, but it's easy to miss it at that point. Again, nothing great to use as a weapon. But I gotta say, of levels, we're a good level. Level 12 is a good level to be at by the time the first ring appear on the second night. But it's at this moment that I realize who I'm going up against. Because most of these games, I just hop in. I select all the night loads, and then I just hit quick play, and I get wherever I get. And I don't bother, you know, going for any particular night load. I just play whichever queue feels the fastest. And I don't always remember or know who I'm going up against in terms of night loads. And this one just happened to be weak against lightning. Honestly, not a good drop. And I don't even recall ever even seeing a lightning based weapon. And what am I doing here? Oh yeah, I think I got confused and I thought the hidden flow was down here. So every ruin has a hidden rune that will have two uncommon chests. You got, and what I'm saying by common and uncommon, you got two types of chests. You got the common chest, which was the basic wooden chest, and then you got the uncommon chest where they look like they're made out of steel. Just a golden hippo. Nothing really to see here. Um, and one thing I do like is I didn't even realize it. I didn't even learn about this till just a couple of days ago, that there was hidden runes in the ruins, and basically the hidden rune will always have 2 uncommon chests that will generally drop some decent items. The YouTuber who I saw, who I got that information from, he kept getting talisman. I've done a few of them, and I've not seen any talismans. Well, no, I take that back. I have seen talisman. Never good talisman. I had one where it gave me 2 of the same talisman. It was good for, and I can't remember. I don't think that is in this video. Maybe it's in one of the other videos. But I remember it gave my partner, who was like a Revenant player, a good talisman. But for me, it was no use. I think maybe it was this one. Oh, and that's, again, more useless freaking perks from the bosses. Either more runes, which doesn't give me a level at this point, or enemies die sometimes when you attack them. That's good on maybe day 1 when you're very low level, but we're on the 2nd night, getting ready to fight the Night Lord. It's completely worthless for me to have enemies sometimes die at level 1 and sometimes die when you attack. And I'm gonna go for the hidden rune, but mainly because you're not gonna one-shot the Night Lord. And again, worthless. Maybe I could take the fist. I don't think they would give me anything good, but maybe. Oh, and we're going for the Sorcerer's Rise. Oh, and Rise already been open. Good job. I believe Iron Eye? Yeah, Iron Eye. Again, I'm probably gonna get something useless from here. Lo and behold, a talisman that will only be useful for my teammate, which I think I'm going to give it to them halfway through. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to get to the boss arena and I'm going to just drop the talisman. Oh, we're going to try to fight one more boss. Honestly, we probably should just went for the camp. Because all things considered, with the circle that close, there's no way we're going to be able to kill any boss before this rain is going to be right on top of us. And even though it's I believe that's an Erd Tree Avatar, I believe is the... Yeah, Erd Tree Avatar. Even though that's a very easy roaming boss to fight, we have Redmane, well, right next to the Redmane camp, who is raining lightning down on top of us. We got the rain about to close in on top of us. And we're probably gonna, we will have to deal with a few beastmen, but that's not so bad. But the Erd Tree Avatar mixed with rain, plus Redmane Knights sniping you, is not worth it. Okay, I think this is where I realize, hey, I can at least get one of the hidden talisman here. Yep, and here's the hidden room. So basically they're hidden in one of 2... I don't know how he got down there. And there we go. Cerulean Amber and another Cerulean Amber. Good for my teammate. Crap for me. I believe, yep, killed him, so my teammate wouldn't have a hard time getting in there. I don't know if the Revenant player ever goes and get those items. I hope they do. Yes, I think they did. I opened the map and I saw them near there, and I'm like, okay, maybe they got the item. If not, I'm gonna give them that, so that way they can use that instead. And I dropped it there. Perfect. because it's useless for me. I have no need to lower my HP so I can do more damage. Yeah, that dragon's not gonna have a good day. I think I missed that jump attack though. So level 14, end of the second night, not bad. Everybody prefers to be level 15, but I find being level 13 or up is a good place to be when taking on the final night lord. Taking on the night lord at the end of the day. Nameless King, Dark Souls 3. Much easier than the first time I played it. Dark Souls 3, I remember it took me, I think, an hour and a half or 2 hours to beat Nameless King. It took me a while. Like, I remember, I don't think it took me 2 hours. I think it took me an hour to an hour and a half. Yeah, I remember that was like a little weekend time for me. I just keep missing it. So one thing I didn't like about this is you can't target the feet directly. I think you can only target the neck. Again, my range, checking my distance, I just never know where to be. Yeah, I'm just missing a bunch of these shots. Oh, and that was me using the ability that I didn't even realize I had, which was brief invincibility. Courtesy of the shield. I was amazed to actually hit. Finally trigger Scarlet Rock on him, that's great. And perfect, I went to the ability mode to punch him right before he hit me with lightning, negating a lot of that damage. So, I remember my thought process here. I went with lightning upon dodging because I knew that this Night Lord is weak against lightning, and I had no lightning based items or weaponry. And as far as I knew at the time, I didn't think my teammate had any at the moment. So I went into this fight with the assumption none of us had lightning based weapon. Kind of a big leap because we do have a Revenant on our team who specializes in talisman, but I didn't know which talismans he had. And that's me dropping the flail because it had the ability, I believe, magical attack power go up, which I thought would be good for the Revenant. I think that's Iron Eye dropping some shards for the Revenant, always good to have. Oh no, smithing stones. That's me remembering. Always feed your Revenant some Starlight Shards. So, looking back, okay, I think the Revenant did keep the staff that made her less likely to be targeted. Because looking back on it, I mean, less likely to be targeted is very good for a spellcaster to have, because I think that also applied to the Night Lord. He'll be less likely to come after you. Let's see what we got. Full gold, champion of the Night Glow. And one thing I was desperately trying to do was I was rolling on purpose to try to trigger lightning on him. I believe right there I was trying to do the punch. I being a G, great player. Oh, and that's when I learned I has a freaking lightning bow. I must protect that name. And all things considered, we're having a very good run here. We got a range player who got a lightning bow, a weakness to the Nightreign. The best time to trigger it is whenever he's trying to charge up his attack, because that'll always dance break him. Now here, my thought process was that the totem would put me at just the right height where I wouldn't be hit by him. I clearly was wrong. I also didn't know the boss could run straight through the totem like there was nothing. This is where I remember, oh yeah, I have a bunch of items. I need to use those. Good use of my punch ability to limit the damage I take. Nice punch to knock him out of his guard, and the second strike cannot prevent that. And there's me desperately trying to proc him with another Scarlet Rot. And there we go. Scarlet Rot and Poison. Perfect proc. And this is where it starts to go down. We got Revenant down. We got me going in for the revive, and I get it off at the last moment. He knocks me down with a shove. I get hit by a bolt. And then just as I'm blocking the first hit, so this is something, and I reviewed the tape a lot before watching it, thinking, was there anything I could have done differently? Because this is where everything went sideways with us. He knocked me off my feet. And then as I was recovering from being knocked backward from the blocking, he hit me on the back. My shield was still up, but he hit me in the back with his arm. I could have probably rolled, but I don't know if I could have rolled while in that animation. And I will pop up a screen of all the stats so you can see what items I use and what relics I had employed. I usually won't change my relics, so for what I had, I usually I had that one relic of one of the Night Lords that give you increased health, blue relic that extend the duration of my ultimate art ability and give me the chilling mist. And ironically enough, a lightning attack power up, which of what I didn't have any, and finally the black skull necklace, the black claw necklace that give me defeating the enemy near the totem restores my HP, defeating enemies fill my art gauge, and poise +3. Still not enough poise and still not enough to win this one. So this one was an L. I think honestly that's what made this a lost round, was just the fact I did not get any good weapons, Holly, other than that Scarlet Rot axe. But here's hoping next round it's a win. Fingers crossed. But till then, see y'all next time.